Also playing Central Queensland. This is North Queensland playing Brothers at Lang Park. Yes. Brothers very disappointing, but here's the North Queensland side. Ken Spencer, Shearer, Johnson, Payne, Solosky, a few Brisbane players there, even Camburus. Paul Laffin at halfback. He's the captain. Cooper, Cox, Carol Cox. Now, Bob Cox, he's an ex-Brothers player. David's an ex-South player. In the front row, Thompson, the hooker, and Bradford next. Well, he played for North here in Brisbane, so there's a sprinkling of Brisbane players in that side. And I feel today could be the day for one of the upsets. I don't know what you fellas think.
Yes, I tend to agree. I think North Queensland reportedly improving side. They've made changes, especially after their defeat in the first round match against North, but they've got a big pack of forwards. I think it's going to be a pretty fiery game. I think the first 10-15 minutes there's going to be plenty of fireworks out there today, and Fonda made the point. They're not going to be phased, the Marlins, by coming to Lang Park, because there's about 9, I think, former Brisbane first graders there. Plenty of experience, and the way Brothers played last week, 5 or 6 of them have got to be skating on very thin ice. If they don't perform today, they'll probably find themselves in reserve grade. But on last week's form, I think North Queensland might cause
the corresponding game last year, Steve Stacey, didn't they, when they played East?
Yeah, they certainly did, David.
That was at Ayr, though, wasn't it?
That was up at Ayr. We went up there and they turned on a really good performance up there against us and ended up running out winners 21 points to 8. John wasn't too impressed about that.
Steve, can you honestly see North Queensland extending Brothers today, though?
I can see them extending Brothers for sure, David, but I think Brothers might just have too much to win. I think when Bernie mentioned that half a dozen players were skating on thin ice as far as staying in first grade was concerned, well, he hit the nail on the head there, and I think that'll be enough to...
Will Caldwell brought up the point about several of his players won't have the Lang Park nerves, and I think that's a very important thing about this afternoon.
Well, as I was reading the team out, I picked a few there, and there are quite a few players that have played for Brisbane, well, when I say played in Brisbane, at Lang Park, and they won't be any problems. Here's the Brothers line-up. Greg Brake at fullback, Noel Russell and Glenn West on the wings, Shane McElwain, Robert Grogan in the centres, Pat Shepardson at 5'8", Tommy Terrific, Radonic as the captain and halfback, Hurst the lock forward, Cartwright and Cleal, 2 Sydney imports there that have got to lift their game today in the second row, Wayne Ducker and Dave Stafford, get in the middle, Dave, and do a bit of work up the comics, and Trevor Barley in the hooking position. And that's the Brothers line-up, and I'll tell you what, Tommy Radonic is a great little organiser, and he's been a great competitor. And if he's got those players running off him today and doing the things that he wants them to do, they'll win easy. My spy tells me that they'll win by 20 points today. I don't know.
This North Queensland side, if they just play it nice and steady, because they do have the players out there with the ability. Because after watching Brothers last week in Speedy Gonzalez style, they didn't seem to have too much pattern about them. That was what I couldn't understand.
Well, if they were able to get away with a win over Eastern Suburbs, who of course won the State League last year, so they must, if they remember that, they're in it with a big show. That's McElwain going through there for Brothers. Now the Brethren with the chance to put on a little bit of pressure. Greg breaks up as dummy half, puts his head down. A couple of metres short of that line now. See if the Brethren decide to let it go now that they've settled it. Back over to Radonicus. Tom Terrific feeds it away nicely. Coming through very solidly there is the second rower in Cartwright, and he'll be over. That's the first try of the match coming up. Dave Cartwright going in. Brothers have a lead of 4 points to 0.
And what that meant was running onto the ball strongly, and on that occasion Tom Radonicus picking the man up. You'll see it here steadily, running hard, skipped the man outside, and of course Cartwright coming from the lock forward position into the second row position today.
About 10 metres to the right-hand side of the uprights. No breeze around here at Lang Park this afternoon. There's a kick by Shepardson, no doubt about that one. Brothers have a lead of 6 points to 0. This is Adrian Thompson attempting to put the first points on the board. Time on, says referee Eddie Ward. The kick is good, no doubt about it. Straight through the centre, so it's 6 points to 2. Coming into the end of the first quarter here at Lang Park. Brothers 6, North Queensland 2. We will be back in a moment with more of the action at Lang Park. Let's see what they can do from here, though. Thompson comes up as dummy half. Laffin. Thompson again. That's Bobby Cox, and he's through the gap almost. Still going. Yes, he's up over the quarterway. Looking for support. Finds it there in Camburus. Pulled out about 5 metres out. North Queensland with a chance. The best bit of attack we've seen from them. Laffin to dummy half. Swings it away. Coming up is Cooper, the lock forward. He'll be wrapped up in the tackle. We've got it back to Laffin. A long one coming across to Camburus. Here's the big front rower in Davidson. Gets it away this time to the centre coming through, and Payne, Mark Payne is over for the try, and North Queensland level it up at 6 points all.
Oh, that was well done from North Queensland.
Bradford, and also coming in Bradford and also Bobby Cox over there. 6-all the score here at Lang Park at the moment. Bit of a cloud cover coming over. I'm sure the players will appreciate that. It's pretty warm out here at Lang Park. This is West, who's coming to the centres there. Back inside, that's Burns. Swings it away nicely to West. West is out of one tackle, over the top. Going to be taken this time by the lock forward in Rod Hurst, and Hurst is over for the try. So Brothers back into the lead.
Well, Brothers did it easily, and
Hurst has scored 3 tries now for the Brethren. That kick by Shepperton looks pretty impressive, but it's just away to the left-hand side of the upright. Through, yes, he did. Looked as though it was swinging away. A little bit of a breeze coming downfield, must have just carried it back. Nice kick.
He kicks it with a bit of a draw. Didn't miss it either.
Well, they're pretty perceptive out here in the outer. Most times, Tommy Rodonicus tried to get it over the top, knocked down by Lappin, picked it up, play on. He lets it spin. Cutting back inside, back to Lappin. That was the front row there in Davidson. Lappin still going, has the winger Shalosky outside. He'll get away from Burns, and this will be a try. He's running it around a little bit. Could have made a little bit extra ground, but he decided to take the try instead. 4 points on the board. Scott Shalosky.
Oh, good.
Brothers aren't playing that well either, Mick. So here's the kick. Coming around, yes it is, came around nicely, so it's 12-all here at Lang Park with 3.5 minutes to the half-time break. And he's a couple of metres short of the halfway mark as they play it. This is Laffin, Camburis, Bradford standing wide. Rather Thompson it was, the other front rower. And going through there with it is Cooper. That is Bradford this time. Davidson gets it away to Shearer. He's going to kick forward, but it's out on the full. Yes, it is. Touch judge waving it back. He's taken it back a little bit further than it probably was, but Shearer, the winger, was the man. Still working around. And this is Grogan. Grogan made a bust. He's up over the quarterway. Can Spencer get him? I don't like his chances. He's going to dive now. And yes, he's got him into touch. He threw the ball back in field, but the touch judge has the flag up. Brothers. Replaced by McGraw. This is West. Over the top. Successful, yes. McElwain was able to get it around to Greg Brake. Defence coming at him. Russell cutting back in, so pushed away the tackle. Oh, that was feeble stuff, but he's going to be pulled down a couple of metres out. Chance for the Brethren. Can they do it from here? McElwain back over the top. That's McGraw. And Hurst wrapped up in the tackle. Dummy half is Bailey. 12-all the score here at Lang Park, but Brothers in with a chance now. Rodonicus. Coming up there is the second rower in Cartwright. And he's still able to get it away. And about 3 players around him. This is Cleo. Cleo's barging his way for the line. And he is in. Les Cleo over for the try. And that was North Queensland defence at its worst there on that occasion, Mick. When
made 2 mistakes.
It's Trevor Bailey now. Brothers hooker. 10 metres inside Brothers North Queensland territory before he's put down. And the final tackle is coming up. So from the play the ball. Shaped a kick now. Try. Robert Grogan going over, and that'll sum it up now. That'll wrap it up for sure. Grogan over underneath the posts, and Brothers go to a lead of 22 points to 12.
Shepperton, they all stand off him. A bit of a change of pace, and he can move a lot quicker than people give him credit for. And this fellow has capped a fine game and everything. And for once, he got a clean ball and showed us what he can do. But let's say all day he's been feeling...
You have our player of the match to come up for Sabre Sportswear at the end of this. And a complete sports outfit there for our player of the match. Burns running away for the try. Burns is over, and Brothers starting to draw away now from this North Queensland side.